back. A few missions have already been started here at 19 and 20. We're going to carry on with that. And we're looking to win, obviously. Let me just bring up my chat room. There we go. Okay, we're just going to start with the toughest ones. Now, we've got, for our daily challenge, kill walkers with Daryl, and then we're going to be unlocking the Abbey Trombone, whatever it's called. So, going to go with a melee team. Just very quickly, let's have a look at what they've got. So yes, Commonwealth Bayonet Rifle. Tyrese, has he got the right mace? Yes, he does, the one that immobilizes. And then Daryl, I like he's kind of got that South American poncho on and the French flag as a weapon. That just seems like an odd combo. Bless him. He is such an interesting chap. So, I didn't really put this up as a scheduled stream. That's because sometimes I don't really know when I'm going to be able to dive in and do what I want to do. I think my next Guild War is Sunday, so I might see if I can actually put a time in there. I know that a lot of people like to be able to sort of know what's going on and maybe sort of jump into those streams if they know when it's on, so I'll see if I can do that for the next one. Go to exit. Okay, they make it sound so simple. Now, can we get that speedy? Yes, we can. We can even get that Commonwealth, so I think we upgrade this to a cookie-powered charge attack. I think that's entirely valid. Okay. Now, Daryl, sir, I think you can probably finish that guy off. I think we do this. Yes. Now, of course, Commonwealth walkers are resistant to status effects, but the slowdown that they get when they go into those debuff circles, that's not a status effect. Oh, rats. Okay. Dog, do your thing. Do we risk it? I think we do. Excellent. Excellent. That's great. That's great. Get them walkers fighting against each other. Okay, I was hoping that he would be immobilized. He's not. It's okay. Take that. Now you're immobilized. Okay, confused didn't kick in there on the tank. That's alright. Because we're just marching past him. And we're out of there. Okay, moving swiftly on. And what we're going to do is we're going to take on the more dangerous mission types. We'll leave things like killer walkers for some of the players who are a little less confident. So survive battles, killer walkers. Oh, so gutted, Tyrese, that you've been injured. Search for clues. Dare we have an all-scout team? I don't think so. I don't think there's any harm in that. Yeah, I kind of like that. Do we have another really good... No, not really. Let's just use that armor then. Are we happy with this? What the heck? Let's give it a go. I think this is an interesting team. So I've just upgraded my council, and I've now got 2 more buildings that I can make, and that's... Oh, hi Wishmaster, hello. I can make 2 more buildings, and it's really annoying because and I don't know if anyone else has done this. I've laid my base out to actually be functional. Like, I thought about where the ambulance should be, for example, and everything is built around that because that's the most important thing. And I made it so there's actually a clear path for the ambulance to get through when people are injured. Like, I have actually been enough of a geek to do that kind of stuff, and now it's all been thrown asunder because there are additional buildings that we can make. And I'm that sad that I did actually consider all that kind of stuff when designing my base, and now everything's a bit too crunched up together. I fully understand that is probably just a me thing, but what are your thoughts on the new debuff on challenges called Plight? I like it. I think it's a good idea. I think that you know, I've actually had a bit of a chat with some of the team about it, and they're sort of still considering you know, how to actually sort of implement that best and everything. In principle, I think it's a great idea. I'm kind of cool with it. I think that people have been asking for an additional challenge. You know, and I think maybe they'll just keep on working on it. They'll perfect it, and then it'll just be something that's a integral part of the game. What do we have? We had a comment there. So it's not just you. Oh, good. Okay. Okay. I mean, seriously, I was so happy with how I've had it laid out. It's just like, yeah, this is actually functional. I do that on stuff like Fallout 76, for example. Kind of like that game, you can build your own base, and I kind of thought about how to make it seem functional and everything. And yeah, it's really good to know that it's not just me. Okay, what do we do here? Hello, Gems. Oh, she might be... Yeah, Gemma should be on, actually. She's just headed off to work. So presumably she's watching this at work, which is very flattering. Okay, we did not... Dare we? I think we dare. I think that if you're umming and ahhing about whether or not to use Confuse, you should use it. I mean, it's so much fun. And it is amazingly effective. Okay, we get Metalhead. We open the door, it's Glenn who did it, so we can still move. Great. Okay, we're doing well. Let's just keep going. We still want to keep killing stuff with Daryl. But he, of course, is injured. Now, this is risky. We're gonna... I don't really rate Daryl as a character in this game, I've got to admit, but we're gonna chuck him in there. What is it that his heirloom does to regain a charge point instantly? So we should really use something which can gain charge points. I mean, really, he's a crossbow guy, isn't he? What level is his heirloom? Don't know. I do not know. It's a very good question. Okay, so that's So that's equipped. Yeah, go on, Daryl. I mean, I've not even really re-rolled his traits or anything. What the heck? What the heck? Let's just give it a go. Sometimes it's fun to try some characters that you otherwise wouldn't use. So Daryl, you're part of the team. Oh my gosh, I forgot to equip Sasha correctly. Too busy worrying about what we were doing with Daryl. So Sasha is equipped with a weapon that I would rather she did not have. That's pretty... It's pretty bad. I've heard that after you get it past level 6, he becomes extremely good. Well, maybe. Maybe. I think it was mentioned in the update notes that there is another heirloom. I can't remember if the exact details have been announced, but it's killer stuff. These heirlooms might well be, you know, game changers. There we go, just saw it kick in there. Oh, I wish I'd have... Really wish I'd have paid attention to my loadout. Sasha there, I would not be giving her the sniper rifle. But hey, let's work with what we got. Okay, fantastic. I mean, we can see that leadership, sorry, not the leadership trait, the heirloom bracelet. See that it's kicking in there quite nicely. Okay, I mean, that Spikey's gotta go. We've been making a lot of noise here. Okay, charge attack, this should do the trick. Okay, let's cuddle up nice and close together. Yeah, sure, we don't have Connie here, but let's make it so that we're all on the same page. More interested in positioning right now. Ooh, freaky deaky. I think I never mind using tools in Guild Wars. Now I'm thinking, Daryl, you got enough punch to be able to kill this guy? Maybe not. Mercer could do the honors. Stun him. Let's get by. Yeah, Sasha, you do that. Okay, we've got to kill 2 more walkers. That's not a problem. And I've got to admit, it's been fun. Yeah, it's been fun using Daryl, so definitely keep him in as part of the team. And it's very satisfying to see that that heirloom kicking in. Sorry, do excuse me just 1 second. Okay. Move on to the next one. Let's perhaps make sure that we are giving the lovely Sasha a weapon that we kind of wanted to have. There we go. I'll give Daryl a little something different. kind of like Otis's hunting rifle. We'll just see how this works. Just trying some interesting stuff, trying some fun stuff. I'm on the tablet, by the way, so it sometimes runs a little bit slower than my phone, but it does mean that we're not going to get interrupted by phone calls or anything. Yes, if you have the do not disturb, phone calls still come through and stuff like that. So I mean, really, Daryll should be absolutely one of the best characters. Should be one of the best in the game. As it stands at the moment, he's not so great, but that is encouraging to hear that his heirloom can make all the difference. Should have shot with Sasha, really. We haven't got a threat counter. There's no need to be quiet or anything, so... Okay, I kind of need you to be more dead than that. Have I got tactical on Daryll? Can't remember if this is a crippling weapon. Well, in any case, this guy's not quite dead enough yet anyway. Okay. I thought we might have been in trouble there. I think I'm going to stay here, actually. He's a problem. Hopefully Daryll or Mercer will shoot. Oops. Sasha, who was in trouble. And she's the one who's got Dog as well. So it's a little bit frustrating. Dog, of course, use that. And that walker would... Oh, God, I hate it when it does that. Yeah, if we'd have been able to use Dog, then that walker would instantly have let go of Sasha. Oh my gosh, we're really, 1, 2... So I can't really put him there because then he's at risk of both of these guys. I have to just sort of put him there and hope this works out, which... Okay, it did. Lucky. Say that we were lucky there. Would have been nice if you'd have been crippled. Okay, I really wanted Mercer to get some charge points there, which he did not. Bless him. Concerned about this guy. I mean, this could be the end of Sasha. Could use some tools. Let's just see what happens. Okay. Now this is coming at a very, very good time. Yes. For some reason this mission's proving to be tricky. Oops. No, I wanted to move Mercer. I did not want to shoot with him. Alright, okay, that's what's happened. He's okay. Let's get these guys crippled at least. Daryll, you get out here. Don't want to put Sasha here, just because there might be other guys there. Okay, let's do that. That's very good. Daryl, I think the most sensible thing here is to just get out of here. Managed to get Sasha injured. That's a little unfortunate. But okay. Picked up a couple of injuries so far. I prefer it to be a clean sweep, but you know, there we go. That's what's happened. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. Mercy, you keep those. And Connie, you have the cat. Daryl has the dog. Kill walk as an exit, and then this mission is free and clear for you know, for the less confident players. Killer walkers, easy enough to do. Survive battles, anyone can do survive battles. They spawn at the level of your own survivors. So even if somebody really cannot handle the missions, which is perfectly reasonable, you know, level sort of stage 20, stage 19, those missions are very tricky to deal with. They can help by doing the survive battles. Doing survive battles might seem, you know, like they're getting rooked, but if you win Guild Wars battle, then everyone's rewards are boosted by 50%. So even though you don't get that many points for doing the survive battles, still contributing very meaningfully to the team's effort, and you will wind up with you know, enough Guild War points to get whatever you want from the Guild War shop. And the Guild War shop is where you tend to get a lot of the best stuff. Now I can't remember, does Otis's rifle ignite? Can't remember. I think it does. Okay, I would like to hit that tank with a cookie powered charge attack. Bingo. Okay. Yes, let's all cuddle up together. Yes, Daryl's rifle, Otis's rifle does indeed ignite targets. That's very good. Let's get these big guys out of here. Go on, scram. Our mission right now is to get to exits. So we can see if we can finish these guys off, but it's not that important. The most important thing is that we just get out of there in one piece. And you know what? It is proving to be a lot of fun using Daryl right now. Definitely Hunter Daryl. That sounds confusing. That sounds like Huntsman Daryl. Ranged Daryl. Original Daryl. Not a character that I use very much, but you know, it's fun seeing his heirloom in action. It's fun sort of breaking him out. Kill walkers and exit. Again. Okay. We shall. Love the look of that Code Orange assault rifle with Mercer. Orange armor, orange rifle. Ooh boy, this is yeah, this is a tricky layout for ranged groups. I mean, technically we do have a melee character in the mix, Connie. Although with that assault rifle, she more or less counts as a ranged character anyway. She's kind of got the best of both worlds. My gosh, you see, she is just such a great character. She really is. I still stand by the notion that Outlaw Negan is an absolutely brilliant scout character. I think he really, really is. But for me, it's Connie is the scout character. I kind of put them both as S tier in the hero video, which, you know, again I do stand by, because it's a matter of personal preference. My preference for my game style, I think Connie is the better of the two scout characters. But if somebody was to say, nah, Outlaw Negan is S tier, you know, I wouldn't argue. Finished watching Dead City. Show featuring Negan and Maggie. And the question still remains, does Negan deserve to... Did he deserve his redemption? Is all forgiven? Should he be considered a good guy now? It's a little harsh, but I would argue no. And that's not the same thing as saying I dislike the character, or dislike the arc, or dislike what they did with him, because I think they did an amazing job. Jeffrey Dean Morgan, absolute legend. You know. But if Maggie were to just sort of turn around and put a bullet in Negan's head, I'd be like, she's justified in doing that completely. I'd be like, no further questions, Your Honor. She's allowed to do that. Even though I think that I can understand why Negan did what he did, you know, killing off Abraham and Glenn. Spoiler alert. I actually, from his perspective, I completely understand why he did that. But yeah, I don't think he's necessarily strictly a redeemed character, considering everything that he did when he was the leader of the Saviors. Maybe I just hold a grudge. I don't know. I think both are epic heroes. Negan, for me, is more of a team player. Connie is a leader. Yeah, that's kind of ironic, isn't it? Negan's more of a team player. And you're like, I can't argue with that. It's kind of true. Ooh. Come on, pizza boy. Let's give you the really good armor. And do we give you... It's too much fun, right? Although, I tell you what actually works, there's better synergy. Let's give you... Yeah, I kind of like being able to reduce the threat, so we're going to do that. I think you get that. Yeah, I'm still bringing Daryl along. Yeah, I agree. Negan is more of a team player. I think both Connie and Outlaw Negan are great as team members. They're fantastic. But what I would say is, if you're bringing Connie, make her the leader. I mean, she's an excellent team member, but she may well be the best leader in the game. So make her the leader. Love being able to move around like this. Should be able to get some kills there. Boom. And that is how we use Glenn. Get a nice tasty critical attack in there. Okay, a rare turn where we're not all fully charged. Okay. Those metalheads, tough old characters, yes. But they can still be stunned. Can inflict status effects on them. Crescent Edge, favourite weapon for Glenn. He can just move so much. Yeah, I mean, it's a great weapon for him. Can we finish off that metalhead if we give him a stab with the Crescent Edge? I'm not sure. So we're not going to do that. Better make sure that you're crippled. And we just stay here. We're not rushing. Silenced is kicking in fairly often, making it so that we're not racking up that threat counter. And that works quite nicely when you've got a weapon that reduces threats. Does the heirloom, the friendship bracelet, does that mean that we have a renaissance for Daryl? Like you said, you know, get that heirloom up to a very good level, and all of a sudden Daryl's a bit of a badass. So maybe. I do. I really like it. I like that as a way of perhaps making it so that otherwise maligned characters are going to become a bit more viable without having to change everything about them. You don't have to change their leadership trait. Adds a little bit of character as well. I like there's the little quote that kind of goes along with the heirloom as well. In the case of Daryl's, it's Carol sort of teasing him a little bit, which is pretty sweet. Those characters, who would have thought that they would wind up being sort of unlikely, you know, sort of fan faves. I mean, Carol had such an amazing story arc, really. I mean, if you remember back at the start, she was just this well, quite frankly, abused housewife, you know, who needed somebody else to stick up for her, and then, yeah, she really went through it. She's getting by far one of the most badass characters. Clever as well. I always loved the fact that she knew how to make it so that people would just underestimate her. Daryl, of course, character who's not in the comic books. He was created entirely for Norman Reedus. Norman Reedus went in to read for Merle, and they didn't think he was right for that character. They thought he was so good, they knew they wanted him in the show, so they created the character of Daryl. Just for him. I think she had the most extreme character development in the history of TV shows. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's a complete 180, and it was magnificent to watch. I think they did some great character work on The Walking Dead. I don't think anyone can criticize aspects of the production values, like the I mean, the look of the show. It looked great. Anytime that we went to a city, it looked really expansive. The makeup and gore, the inventive deaths, they were always there. They were always innovative. The performances as well, the acting throughout, the cast that they had in The Walking Dead. I think that if anyone was to try and criticize that, they'd be ripped a new one. They really knew how to cast that show. I mean, even the small roles. I still remember it was brilliant to see Michael Biehn in a role. His Hicks in Aliens. That's my favourite film of all time. He's my favourite character, Corporal Hicks, and that's my favourite film of all time. I remember he was in Walking Dead. He was a fan. He was Ian, the leader of a community that the Commonwealth sort of came and sort of parlayed with. Very, very paranoid character. Very aggressive. Not really buying what they had to sell in any sense of the word. And then I remember the, yeah. Sort of let his guard down just for a split second and then that's it. Commonwealth had him. Killed him. And it was just a great performance, great role, but even that was just one actor in one episode. You know, and I still remember that episode. I still remember it standing out. Even at the end, you know, people go like, oh, at the end it wasn't very good. And it's like, well, I disagree with that. And I remember that being a good use of the Commonwealth. Them being just really insidious. Coming in, all smiles. Oh, hey, buddy, we just want to help you out. We just want to work something out. And then that's just a way to get people to let their guard down so that they can, well, you know, do them over, basically. Definitely having a lot of fun using Daryll here. Maybe I will continue to upgrade that heirloom. Kind of, maybe I should get my finger more on the pulse with Discord. Keep a bit more up to date with, you know, the views of the community in general. We got a really good community. Really do for this game. That does make a difference. What are we at? We're at 10 attacks. We've almost killed the walkers we need to kill with Daryll. Let's do these last 2 missions, at least. Excuse me, just 1 second. Okay, and I'm back in the room. There's just tons of hate for the Plight on Discord. What are people saying about it? I mean, it's a pretty big swing. I'm not too surprised that there are strong opinions on it. I'll have to hop on. I'll have to hop on and have a look. I mean, because for me, I don't always finish the weekly challenge. For some people, it is their favourite part of the game, which is totally understandable, and they always want to sort of finish it, get that perfect score. I think that's perfectly valid. That's like, I get that. That's normally what I would do with games. For me, the weekly challenge, I do it to the point where, well, frankly, if I feel like I'm sort of grinding, you know, that's it for me. I'll get 4,000 points or something, and I'll be happy with that. I really enjoy Guild Wars. That's sort of that's what I really enjoy doing. So for me, completing the weekly challenge, it's just, if I can do it, then yeah, sure. But I'm not too bothered. I enjoy it just as a game. I will play the weekly challenge until, you know, it feels like a bit of a struggle. But that's just me. One of the biggest issues with Plight, basically get nerfed weapons that you bought with dollars. Yeah, I mean, I can understand how the debuffs. I think I get that. Yeah. When you're using effects like, you know, incendiary, cripple, stuff like that, that's what's giving you the advantage over the walkers. You really feel like you're sort of outwitting them. You know, I think I get what they're kind of, you know, why people might be upset. It maybe does feel like, yeah, you're not able to use your best stuff at the very highest level. All of a sudden, that just becomes useless. I think I kind of get that rationale. I think in principle, I think I like the Plight. I think the idea of giving people a greater challenge at higher levels, yes. I think that that's actually a smart move. I think that maybe giving people unusual challenges and stuff like that, I think that's great. I mean, maybe if it was, it could just be as simple as having more themed walkers. So, for example, Commonwealth walkers, they nerf the abilities of your weapons, but I don't think people resent that in the same way. There's sort of still some workarounds. You know, if you can hurt those Commonwealth walkers, then you can kind of negate that. You can still outsmart the walkers, as it were. Oh, they got a law. Oh gosh, wow, they got a lawsuit for that. The minus movement really hurts on Plight mode. I think it's definitely something that needs it does need calibrating. I think I can completely understand the criticisms. I mean, just from my personal opinion, don't nerf the survivors. I think that adds to the challenge. I don't think it necessarily adds to the fun. And maybe think of a way of doing it so that it is more like Last Stand. You hit round 40 and you get those elite walkers. They're bigger, they're tougher, and they can come out of anywhere on the map. So it's a modification of what the walkers can do, as opposed to an outright nerf, as opposed to a completely new sort of change in everything that they're able to do. So I think that I can imagine that perhaps being received a little bit better. Sort of thinking like, okay, so how do we... Because I don't think anyone resents the concept of elite walkers in Last Stand. In fact, I think people quite like it. I think that's considered an exciting kind of addition. So I think that when it comes to Plight, what you're doing is thinking like, well, what can we do for weekly challenges which is similar in feel to the elite walkers in Last Stand? Because that lands. That works. That's perhaps where the discussion needs to be sort of going. My personal opinion, Plight is fine. The whole idea of the challenge is to be challenging. We don't lose anything finishing stage 80, so just do that and forget. I mean, I'm of that same opinion. Hey, look, I get where I get, and quite frankly, it's all about it still being fun. But yeah, if somebody said like, hey, look, you know, I want to finish it, I did sort of spend some money on you know, some weapons, and or I grinded out to get these, you know, and now they're, you know, literally Nerf toys. You know, I kind of get where they're coming from. I can understand the frustration, basically. I think they'll, I think the concept of Plight is going to stay, and maybe what it will be is just a case of just calibrating it a little bit, just thinking like, okay, well, what can we, you know, what can we do to maybe work better based on the feedback that we've got. I think that's probably what's going to happen. Last week finished all 90 and didn't get all the points. And someone did, so kudos to them. They're just better. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even get to the Plight on the last sort of set of missions. I mean, Guild Wars is where I like to really sort of rise up to the challenge. Hey, there we go. And that means... See, this is what I mean. See, my camp, I tried to lay it out so the ambulance is there. It can get all the way to the gate instantly. I've got these other vehicles here, able to get out. Everything else is starting to get a bit crunched up. I like to leave that line between so that people can walk through it, and it's all a bit crunched up. Just a personal thing. Anyway. Ta-da! We've got a blunderbuss. Abbey Trombone. Don't need to spend any money to be able to get the seasonal event tokens. Now, I think I would like to keep 6 attacks in reserve, just so that we can help with anything that people might need help with. Let's do these 2 tricky ones. Kill walkers and exit. Hear me out. What if we put Plight mode on Guild War Islands? I'd rather not. I mean, I think they've done very well. I think Guild War works just really, really well. I wouldn't want to be a stick in the mud and say like, oh no, never change it. But I think they've got it down pretty well. I think the challenge is good. I think it's there. You've got to remember as well that it's a game mode for people of all different abilities. What I like is that people who are not as skilled or confident can contribute by doing the survive battles, things like that. What it is about communicating and working as a team. That is the best thing about Guild Wars. That's how you do well. Number of times where I've seen it where, you know, you get into Guild Wars, it started 5 minutes ago and somebody's already got over 1,000 points, and you're like, oh wow, you know, and then you realise that all they've done is they've maxed out their points and they've left their entire team behind. And you see the rest of the team's scores and they've just been struggling to sort of get anywhere. And you realise, yeah, that one really experienced player just Rambo'd it and they left their team behind. And then you catch up and then you beat them because their sector score isn't there. And then you're thinking, well, that guy who rushed ahead, if he had waited for his team, he would have wound up with more rewards because his team would have won and they would have got that 50% boost. And that's one of the most satisfying things about Guild Wars, is where you're just like, hey look, they had this absolute star player who probably all points the weekly challenge within 10 minutes of it going up, you know, but they didn't work as a team, so they lost. Daryl, mate, you're absolutely representing. Very glad to have you on board for this one. GW and Challenge are two different modes with two different goals. Yeah, I mean, for one thing, with the weekly challenge, you have several days to do it. It's sort of a team effort in that you're all contributing towards the same score, but nobody is relying on you. I mean, Guild Wars is something where you might be able to put an hour aside in the working day and do all of your, you know, your missions, and you've kind of got to be able to do that. It can't be something that necessarily is going to take all day. You know, it's an event that is spread out over one day. Everybody's putting their best foot forward. You might have things that are sort of going on in real life, you know, so you've got to be able to sort of do it at a certain pace and still work as a team member. And I think they've really nailed that. I think they've really got that down pat. Now, we've got an explosive walker. We've got two explosive walkers. No, Connie, you go back, actually, because of this chap here. Okay, we've got some explosive walkers right there. Now, can we blow them up? Thing is, of course, we've got a metal head right in front of them. We killed him, but that kind of abrogates the usefulness of the explosives. We're still gonna blow them up just so that they don't get us. Don't want that walker reaching us. I mean, I can see that the little icon for the heirloom keeps on popping up quite frequently. You can see that it's kicking in nice and regularly. Everybody, let's cuddle up. Get some charge points for Mercer. Why did that make me think of the book Flowers for Algernon? Charge points for Mercer. It made me think of one of the most heart-wrenching books I've ever read. I don't know. I have no idea where my brain goes sometimes. So this will be it. I think that we will complete this, and then we'll hold off for a bit. Got other guild members who still have stuff to do. We're gonna keep. We got 6 attacks left. We're gonna hold on to them. Maybe, just maybe, they could have done difficulty for challenge gradually. Yeah, okay. I think that's a pretty good way. Maybe make it so that you have a list of debuffs that you can pick from, maybe, so that maybe you got a little bit of control over the type of challenge. You know, you get to round 80. Well, what debuff do you want for the next 6? You know, sort of challenges, and then of course it resets. It's like, okay, we're going to add another one, and you pick that, and then at the end, okay, you're going to add a third one, and you pick that. I mean, that might be an option. That might be a way. I think there's ways of doing it. Yeah, elite tougher walkers. Just throw in more tougher walkers. That kind of thing. I think there's ways to do it. They'll get it right. Okay, so there we go. So we are way ahead. We haven't got any sector bonuses. Pick your own. Yeah, pick your own debuff. I mean, there you go. Say 1 debuff per set of 6 missions, you know, so and then it resets. Yeah, 1 debuff, and then again you just gradually increase. I think that's a smart way of doing it. Yeah. Yeah, and pick your own debuff. I mean, I think that's valid. Maybe they'll ask. They might ask. Or maybe these ideas are already being floated. I don't know. Anyway, 6 attacks left. Really, really want to win this guild war. We're going to hold on to those 6 attacks just in case somebody says, oh, hey, look, could you help me out with something? We want to be able to do that. We're going to be looking to complete 19 ABC, 20 ABC as well, and I think that should get us the W. But we shall see. We're going to end the stream there. Been really, really great talking to you all. This has been great fun. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. I'll try and schedule the next one. I think it's Sunday, and yeah, see if we can do this again. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again soon.